Hey, it's the Atlanta Sea Colony live stream. My name's Adam Jewell, and with me, to my left, your right, is Brendon Traxler. Brendon, how you doing today, buddy?
Brendon Trax. I can't do it. Whatever. I'm fine.
Rocky Road.
Baby Ruth.
Boom.
Oh.
Now we do one of those.
Yeah.
Boom.
Stop.
We can do anything. Power of the internet, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We should do something like the way, like, in the middle, how our like the walls almost look the same. I should like.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does. It's like same angle and everything.
Yeah.
Stupid.
We're just sitting here for like 3 hours tonight.
Trying to get it lined up.
Anyway. Good stuff. So what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, nothing. Crazy weather down here in the south. It's 80 degrees like 2 days ago, and it's in the 40s today, so my sinuses are jacked up. But otherwise, it's all gravy.
See, it's turning around a little bit for us, where last week it was like freezing, and now we're working our way up to like 50s, 60s this week. So
nice.
But yeah, we get that same effect where it's just like it goes from being like, regardless if it goes from being super cold to warm or warm to super cold, people get sick. So I mean, my youngest, she's got like having little coughing fits because of it, and all that great nonsense.
Coughing fits.
But
I hear your wife in the background.
Huh?
I hear your wife in the background.
Yeah. It's rounding kids up for bed time tonight. Today. The time.
Anyway, so do you have anything to talk about first off? Oh, yes, you do. You finished Aquaman and you watched the first episode of Sequest.
Well, we already talked about the Aquaman thing, though.
Did you finish it before last time? But you hadn't talked about Sequest.
No, and I only saw the first episode so far.
Yeah, and I don't even talk to you that much about it. What did you think of the first episode?
It's intriguing. It does make me want to watch more of it, which I will do.
Okay.
There's a lot of times where I have to like force myself to watch a few episodes of something in order to get into it, because I think with almost any TV series, you can't go off of just the very first episode. But the first episode, like, granted, like the first episode's a longer episode, so I mean, you do get a lot of information in the first episode. Like, you get a lot of story in the first. So yeah, I'm excited to watch more, and I can see myself watching the series, A, because I know there's only a few seasons of it, and B, it's something that I think is interesting. So
fair enough.
Whereas like there's a lot of series like I'm like, oh, I bet I'd like that show, but there's like 10 seasons and it's just like, ugh.
Right.
Like I know if I start, I'm gonna want to keep binge watching. I'm not gonna get anything done. Whereas this is like, okay, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, whatever it is, 2.5 seasons,
pretty much. Well, cool.
But yeah, there's a lot of they packed a lot in on the first episode that I'm like, oh, okay, I want to see what's up with this lady and this guy and
this lady and this guy.
Well, I mean, the lady in the very beginning is like, oh, I'm going to launch a weapon. And they're like, hey, can't do that. Nope. And now she's like a bad guy now.
You're not supposed to cross the zone. The kid's all like, got his head, and he's like anyway. And then there's nothing that big down there except the Sequest. And then it starts coming up. And
then there's I mean, right off the bat, I mean, there is some cheesiness to it, but I mean,
yes,
nothing more than a typical sci-fi show where there's like, they got this like 15-year-old kids like, yeah, I understand how like communicating with dolphins works. It's like, do you? And they're like, oh, why is he here? He's like, oh, he's the boss's kid or something like that. I don't know.
You get to meet his dad later on.
Is he cute?
I mean, it's your own personal taste. But anyway, let's jump back into reality here a little bit. So, something we haven't really talked about is, well, first off, we've been reaching out to some different people trying to get them on the podcast. Haven't heard anything back on there, unless you've heard anything back that I don't know about.
No, not yet. Okay. I have a few leads, but
yeah,
nothing firm yet.
So I try to stay as friendly and keep communication open with anybody that's in this field as far as building underwater structures, habitats, hotels, whatever it may be. Excuse my hands a lot here tonight. But anyway, and so I got hit up on LinkedIn by another guy today. I hadn't heard of them. He says he's in the process of getting ready to build one in Sudan. I'm still going over the information. Yeah, he hit me up on LinkedIn and said, hey, I'm building an underwater habitat in Sudan. So like you got a website and stuff. So he's got one very vague. He doesn't, I'm not sure how far along he is. I'm going to hit more conversation, but depending on what I find out, we may want to try to get him on here. The other person I keep up with is over in Europe as well, but his English, he said his English isn't all that great. So he really doesn't want to do anything live or anything like that. All so right. we just chat back and forth. But yeah, I say for the most part, most of the people out there, save for a couple of them, we got pretty good relationships with them, keeping the streams open to talk to them and stuff. But I thought it was cool that that once again I am feeling super excited just about the vast amounts of projects out there or going to be out there that in the I've had the internet for 20 some years, and the 25 years I've been invested in this whole thing, there haven't been that many out there that I know of. So, right. So I think we're, once again, technology is finally catching up. The internet has made the world a much smaller place for people to communicate together and stuff along those lines. And so, yeah, it's cool. Exciting.
Yeah. We've made a lot of and I say we, but I mean you really. But I mean, between the seasteading folks and just folks that are have, I guess, marine technology type, I guess, backgrounds and stuff like that. We've just made a lot of connections. And so, I mean, and that's not all something that's we want them for our live stream for our podcast, whatever.
Right.
It's not even that necessarily, but it's just having people that we can connect with and talk to once we start building this thing, once we start getting going, that we have people that we can reach out to a lot easier.
Yeah, and it's ever since that was one of the first things I did once I got the internet, understood what the internet was and how to do anything on it, which makes me sound really old. But
back when I first had the internet,
back when I had the dial-ups, using the free AOLs to get on the internet, but which is all true. One of the first things I did after building the Atlanta Sea Colony website back in the day was, or maybe before, I remember now, was jumping on Yahoo chat groups and talking to people. And man, we had a pretty lively chat group based around this all the way back then. And it's always been I just love talking to people about this because there's not so many people in it. So anytime I can find somebody that's interested in this, I just love, sharing ideas, picking ideas, picking brains, stuff along those lines. So yeah.
That's what I miss about the earlier days of the internet is granted it's all evolved and been replaced, but it's just back when chat rooms were not so corrupted like they get now with the few remaining ones, but it's just right. You used to be able to find certain topic chat rooms and stuff like that. And granted, like I said, it's evolved. Now the big thing's Reddit, where there's a subreddit for every type of topic you could think of really out there. And that kind of leads to another thing that we always talk about is just we have a Reddit group or subreddit group, but I've done zero things with it. It's just because it's I just cannot keep up with trying to do it. So we'll bring that up some other time. But yeah, anyway, so is what I was saying is with it being, or with the Reddit, I guess I haven't found anything that's specific to underwater living. Now I know that there's seasteading ones. There's ones for off the grid living. I don't know. Maybe that should be our next place to start talking with people. Not maybe even if it's just kind of getting a feel for some knowledge and building some connections there too.
And I've tried, like, I'll type in there like underwater hotel, underwater, stuff like that, and anything I can find on it. If the subreddit's not locked and archived, I'll comment on there. Somebody just the other day, actually, I think a couple weeks ago, I was on there, and somebody was talking, about this stuff. I said, "Hey, shoot me a message," and I haven't heard anything. So, who knows?
Yeah. Like I love being on Reddit, and I like scrolling through. It's just I'm not good at posting stuff.
I don't get it.
I do get it, and I like it, but that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah. What else? What else did we have for tonight? We didn't really have, I guess, a real direction for tonight.
We didn't.
Let people flow in. We'll talk with people.
I've been seriously laxing, and I put an apology out in the private group this today, saying that I apologize about not being with it here recently about doing all this stuff. So, yeah, I've definitely dropped the ball. However, I can have multiple excuses why, but it doesn't really matter. We do have a new Instagram. Throw it out there too. So
Atlanta Sea Colony LLC.
Yep, there's a link. I threw it in the chat there. So please go follow. Even though organically it's been growing, we got 16 followers already. I got stuff scheduled out. Definitely going to try to use that a little bit more this time around. Yeah, go follow it. Go like it. Go
there now.
Do right now. Pause this. No, don't pause this.
Yeah, stay with us. We'd appreciate it if you stayed with us.
Yes.
But
also, I'm talking. No. Also, with the thing, I did start today posting the first of my vlogs, which are based off blogs that I wrote years ago. That I'm putting in video format. So I posted the first one on there. I'm going to push them out to everything else. But I'm going to go give Instagram the VIP treatment on those and put those out there first. And so if you want to see it, go to Instagram.
Yeah, and that works as far as like content, because I run like the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and you run the Instagram. And the reason that is because like I use a program for sending out content via those other ones, and it's hard to do that with Instagram because Instagram is graphics only, whereas the other ones I can post news articles that might seem intriguing and what have you. So hey, can I go on a tangent that's somewhat relatable to what we're talking about?
Maybe.
I need to get something off my chest, and I think you'd agree with me on some of this. So, and
I think Brian must be watching because we just got we got 2 new likes on the Instagram. So Brian and Ann, I just followed it. So go ahead.
So this is borderline. It's only political if you make it political. So, for example, today up here in South Dakota, we had we have a lot of wind turbines up here, right? And one of them had a malfunction with it, and like it started smoking, caught on fire or whatever. I mean, no one got
blow
hurt.
Up and the blades go flying out.
I don't think so. I think it just burned up. Now, yeah, nobody got hurt. No, no deaths or nothing like that. But instantly, people are like, "Well, this is what everybody gets for wanting green energy." Blah blah blah. This stuff doesn't work. Blah blah. And it gets me so frustrated because it's just like, we don't have to talk about things like global warming or climate change and all that to talk about like renewable energy. We're interested in renewable energy because we're working in a field where it's like we're going to need something like that, because let's face it, we're not going to want to stick like a diesel generator on top of a buoy and like power our habitat. At least like we wouldn't want that to be the long-term solution for all these. And it's just obnoxious. So, me and you were always interested in green energy, renewable energy, geothermal, wind, solar, whatever it may be. But it's just like, it gets me so angry. Like, and obviously a couple weeks ago when like the South was getting hit with all these like the super bad weather, and people are like, "Oh, it's because the wind turbines went down." And it's just like, no, only 20% of the energy that goes through like where all the blackouts were going is like wind or whatever, and a lot of that's not even down in that region. So it just makes me mad that people are so quick to dismiss like solar, wind, and any of this other stuff because it's like, I don't know, it's just easy to dismiss green energy or whatever.
Nature, though, too. Well, I don't think it's green energy. It's anything that's a drastic change to what you're used to and know.
Right.
I think there's very few people that automatically adapt, especially if it's something you're not knowledgeable on, too. Now, if you're already knowledgeable in that field, it's one thing. Okay, yeah, I see it coming. I understand how it goes. But if you're not in the energy field or in that kind of stuff, yeah, you're not going to see. Because I remember when they started putting I did reports on wind turbines back in the 90s, so I kind of knew, what they did and all that kind of stuff. So I had some knowledge on there. But yeah, I think it's just education more than anything. And that's part of the reason why we're doing this, which, is to keep people informed. And also it's an avenue to educate as well. We do a decent job, I think, on all our social media platforms, but sometimes it's just easier to say it face to face or face the screen or face or whatever.
Right. I just feel like, and granted, we haven't had any issues with it on our social medias, but it's just like on my personal Facebook, whatever, if I were to say something like, oh man, check out the latest in solar panels or wind turbines or whatever, people would flip out and be like, blah, 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 it's terrible. They're not doing anything. Blah, they're going to be the end of us. And stupid stuff like that. And it's like, it's just frustrating because I think people, and like you said, probably aren't necessarily as educated on it as they'd like to be or as that they should be. But at the same time, it's like, okay, when a new technology comes out, it's not perfect when it debuts. I mean, look at the advances in aerodynamics, in automotive, from the times that they debuted to what it's at now. Okay, when you think about like when solar and wind and all this stuff, it's still fairly new. It's still going to take a lot of stuff to perfect it and make it better and make it more strong. I mean, battery technology, that goes hand in hand with all this other stuff. So like you can have a turbine that collects energy, but then storing it, you need to have they're making it to where batteries can store things better, charge faster, whatever it may be. So it's like, we've reached a point in society where like when something goes wrong and it might seem new and scary or it's not perfect right away, that people think it's a failure and that it's just the wrong thing. And it's just like, it's such a negative outlook on these things because it's like, it is the future and it doesn't have to be about, like I said, a lot of people will debate climate change and all that stuff. And that's fine. Wherever you stand on that issue, it doesn't matter. We don't have to believe in a lot of or either or to know that it would still be nice if like we had a way of powering things that were cheaper and more affordable and just self-efficient. You know what I mean? So it's like it frustrates me because it turns into a political issue and it really shouldn't be. And I don't know. So that was my tangent.
Everything's a political issue.
I know.
But to your point, you go back 100 years to when the cars first came around. Everybody had horses, and they're like, "I'm not gonna have a car." And within 15 years, the majority of the United States had cars. I mean, it was one of those things.
Personal computers.
Yeah, same thing. And we have experienced it, in chats and stuff along those lines. Like, oh, you're going to be destroying the ocean, or why would you ever want to do that? Let's solve this first, or do this first. It's like, I get all that, but come on, people. Come on, man.
Well, right. And then we always like to talk about SpaceX and Tesla and all that stuff once in a while, but it's like, think about like back in from like the 60s on up, every time they're like 60s to the 90s and maybe even early 2000s, anytime there was a space shuttle launch or a rocket launch, like it was huge news. Like people were like, hey man, there's a space shuttle going out to space today. I mean, it was the number one headline. We're launching stuff like every week, whether it's like private or NASA stuff. It's not like headline news anymore. It's like because we are doing it so often. We're doing something that was so like revolutionary to mankind. Like that the world stopped to watch, but now it's like we're doing it so often, and now like even just the concept of like, yeah, within a few years, hopefully we'll put a man on Mars. It's like, oh, that's cool, but it's not like a breathtaking, like, you know, people are just like, yeah, I'm expecting that. Like, that's just going to happen.
Why is it got to be a man?
Woman.
What are you got against women, Adam?
Nothing. I hope that they take their first steps together.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's like anything else. You know, eventually with what we're doing, it'll become run of the mill. And hell, you know, hey, there's a new underwater hotel opened up in wherever. It's like, oh, cool. All right, some new place to go. But big deal.
Yeah, I just hate people's negative mindset where like when something isn't perfect, no matter what it is. And like I said, this topic obviously was about.
Hey, I'm guilty of it too. I do it all the time as well in my own life. That if I'm a perfectionist, and that's a huge fault of mine. And so yeah, I'm very guilty of it.
Mm-hmm. And I could see that like being so difficult not to be in a industry where you're doing something new too. You know what I mean? Like the first time we drop something in the water, when that day happens, like if we go into it thinking like not one thing or like that the whole thing's gonna go perfect, I think we're out of our minds. Like I think we're gonna have to realize that like there's gonna be failures or something that we have to fix like right away. You know, I'm sure like I mean, when you look at Elon Musk's mindset, like when his rockets blow up, it's like, okay, yeah, we know what went wrong, we know what to do, we know how to fix it. Granted, that guy's got a ton of money. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like when one of his things like blows up or whatever. But you get what I mean, where it's just like when you're doing something that hasn't been done before, you have to expect failures in it, and you have to. I mean, hope for the best, but obviously be realistic with yourself too. That I don't know, and just like I said, when any kind of technology is always advancing, and to constantly think or to have the mindset that something's a failure just because it's not where you want it to be right now it's just a pessimistic way of looking at things that drives me nuts. Like
yeah, and I think that a lot of that can be combated with what we're trying to do with the not to make a plug here, but it is a plug too with the private group on Facebook. Is the whole purpose of that is to get as many minds working on the project to make sure that we can try to triage any issues before they arise. And so that's that was my goal, at least with that group, was to get people looking at it. Hey, this looks stupid. This isn't going to work. Let's try this.
Yeah. Because and it's nice to start building the community now. Like there's days where I'm like, are we more worried about like the following than we are the project? You know what I mean? But at the same time, we need a good following, a supportive following, because when this happens, not if, but when this happens, there will probably be a barrage of negative comments about it. Like, oh, I can't believe you guys just went and dropped something in the ocean or dropped something in this lake and you're just destroying things. It's like, we're going to need a community behind us to be like, okay, wait, no, this is what they're doing. This is what let's go. And the people that are going to help us and be involved, I mean, they can start, they can help that too. Whereas if it was just you and I, we didn't have like social media or nothing. Honestly, it'd be a hard battle to fight, that, if you don't have a community behind you to help combat the misinformation, because once again, that's one of the things like in today's society that like, no matter what the news topic is, people will throw misinformation out there, or you'll get biased, reports of something, and that gets people's emotions to sway one way or the other. They could be like, oh, Atlantic Sea Colony installs first underwater hotel, or not first, but like underwater hotel. And then someone else could be like, couple of guys decide to throw more garbage in the ocean. Like it's depending on how someone wants to portray it is how it would go. So
clickbait.
Yeah, it's sad, and it's like it's a tough thing to fight. Granted, there's a lot of other businesses that probably have a lot harder work to do than us. But I mean, we've had our fair share of that. That's people's first impressions is like, oh, you're gonna go destroy stuff, huh? It's like, no, not at all.
Well, it's also why, we do the video thing. Well, all of it, but especially the video, so that we can have a trail, and we've proven, and I'm trying to say here is a line of history of saying the same thing over and over again. So people can go back and be like, oh, this is what they've been saying for 5 years now, the same thing. So it's not like fly by night type of thing and not out of blue, but we've been preaching this over and over again, that this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's what, all that kind of stuff too. So it's recording ourselves to make sure that it protects us, but at the same time,
to be able to say we've been consistent about our message for however long. Okay, the person you're talking to needs to just come on here, because this happens every live stream, that you're messaging someone that's watching us, and you have these little send the person this link. They can join us.
They're on.
No, they can join the live stream is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, they're watching right now.
Huh?
They're watching the live stream.
No, I mean join our conversation. Get their headsets, their webcams.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I feel left out, and I don't like feeling left out.
I'm sorry. So sorry. Anyway, as you were saying.
No, that was it.
Oh.
Good night, guys. No. But yeah, that was my biggest tangent, because I've been dealing with that a lot. Like
it's a legit one. I can say, I think we all deal with it. We all see it. We all see it on different aspects of life.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know personally, when it comes to renewable energy, I guess I can't speak for you, but the one that intrigues me the most, being like separate from the underwater thing, is solar power. I think solar power has a lot of room for innovation too. Is it Tesla now that does the solar panel shingles that you can put on your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think that's awesome. I'd love to do that with my house. It's just, be able to go, or I shouldn't say go off grid, but I mean, also lower the costs of, your utilities and stuff. So
they also have traditional ones too. And they have a lease program where, I don't know all the details on it, but basically, so you can pay month to month to have your solar. And so you don't want to pay some month, they just turn them off. The shingles just stay laying on top of your roof type of thing. So it's they're
yeah, and it seems like with solar they've been able to kind of, and I don't know the first thing of the technology behind solar, but it seems like they advanced that a lot, just because they keep advancing the, what do you call what they're made out of, the panels and the how much energy the surface can get, and how much it can generate.
Actually, Elon was in. Well, the thing is, the Joe Rogan. Yeah, it's on the Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking about how, because Joe Rogan was asking, "Hey, will you ever see a day where a car can be covered by solar and be able to just be fully?" He's like, "No." He goes, "You're at a limitation where there's only so much sun that can go in a square meter, or whatever it is." And so there's a limit. And he goes, he said there will never be a time when a car is fully run off solar power.
Right.
So that was kind of news to me. I figured, densities and stuff like that, you could mess with the chemicals and stuff, but he said no, which that seems pretty bold, but we'll see.
Yeah, but that's not to say that where, once again, say you cover your house in those solar panel shingles, that you can't, the power that's generated there can't, power your car or whatever when you.
Right.
So,
which is what people do now, is they get their, power, their battery backup system, which gets powered, and then they can charge their car, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. I like to see what innovations come with that stuff, because I think about it from the aspect of, how can I save money in the future? Even when it comes to the electric cars, in my region, once they start getting distributed around here, and where you can buy them easier, right now, say if I wanted a Tesla, I would probably have to drive 3-4 hours to go buy one, and I'd like it to where Like there'd be like a closer dealership or something like that. But I said that's another thing where people are like, oh, I'll never buy.
They don't have dealerships.
Tesla has dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's dealerships that buy and sell them. I'm gonna fight you on this because I've seen videos of salesmen at Tesla dealerships.
They're not dealerships. They're just pickup locations. You cannot you cannot go into a place and buy a Tesla. You can only order them off the website. I'll put money on this one. But anyway, off subject.
Yeah, no, you go ahead and keep talking because I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so now I will take time. As you see, we're down to 3 patrons. Adam's friend said he doesn't love us anymore and doesn't want to be part of this whole patron thing here.
I told you he's fixing it. So, I mean, you really shouldn't even taken his name off of it.
Well, he's currently not a patron, so I took Wiley off. But Edward, Brian, and Babe, we appreciate you. Babe isn't here tonight. He messaged me. He's got switched around. He's got to work tonight. But I know Brian was here, maybe still is here. Edward, I don't know if he's watching or not. I don't know if Edward watches or not. But we do appreciate you guys so much, and then I'll throw our other socials and stuff out there. We got the good old AtlantaCcolony.com, which I personally think it needs a refresh. I'm trying to think of what I want to do about changing the website up a little bit. If anybody's got any ideas, I'd love to hear it because I want to do something different with it. And since I make the website now, it's kind of up to me. All our socials are on there. But basically, it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, some TikTok. Those are the ones we post the most. On there are also 2 links. If you want to be a patron or you want to support us, you can always go to patreon.com/ASC Colony, which is a link right there when you first log to the website. And you can support us as low as $1 or $5 a month. Eventually, we'll have some higher tiers, but I just can't justify asking for any more money at this point in time for what little we're able to do for you guys, except for just being part of the community and say, hey, you're an early adopter into this whole thing. And so I do appreciate that. Or you can PayPal us if you want just a one-time type of thing. You can do it there too. Or another way is Adam has actually just done is go to the merch store and buy some merch. And we got some cool stuff there, and we get a little bit back for every purchase you make there as well.
I'm hoping I have the stuff by next.
You should. Mine came pretty quick.
See, I chose a standard delivery, and it's just like, it could be there in a few days or a couple of weeks. I'm like, I'd like to have it sooner than later. It's gonna be my going out clothes. I bought a hat like this, except for it'll have the ASC logo right there, and then a black T-shirt with the ASC logo on it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be decked out.
And I'm joining the gym tomorrow, so I need to get me like a cutoff so I can be like getting in there.
See, okay, I'm calling you out on the live stream because you have ASC shirts, but you don't wear them on the live stream.
I have one. I know where it's at. I gotta find that thing.
Okay, well, quit wearing the Batman shirts.
I'm Batman.
Okay, hey, question. Yeah. How many Batman shirts do you actually own?
Ooh. Probably 20.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I got a lot.
How many Batman pajamas do you have?
I got 2 pair of pajama pants. Okay. I have 2 onesies as well. I got 3 hoodies. I got like 2 or 3 beanies.
Boxers.
A couple pair.
Socks.
I got a cover, man. No socks.
Ooh. Well, I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas next year.
Anyway, let's get back to business here.
Okay, by the way.
Yeah.
Teslas have stores. Okay. Yeah. A place.
Not dealerships.
It's the same thing.
No, because you can't go there and order a car. It's not a dealership.
You can go there to order one. You can go there to test drive one and be like, okay, I want this car. And then
they'll say, go to the website, order it.
They will order it for you.
No.
Then what the hell's the point?
So you can go test drive a car and pick it up. Only place you can order is on the website. If I'm wrong, I want somebody in chat to call me on this, but I am 99.999% sure about this.
If you want to test.
Just saying. Anyway. But no. Next week, what are we going to do next week on the podcast or on the live thing? It's not the podcast. What are you doing over there, Adam?
I'm reading the thing.
So anyway,
Okay, fine.
But anyway,
that's such a poor business model.
No, that's another topic. We'll talk about that off stream. I'll explain to you why.
We're going to go into our next live stream right after this, called the Tesla fanboy live stream.
One of these days, I'll own one.
Well, for as far as like episodes go, like I said, we've been trying to get people to join us for the live stream, so we can, like, it's not just us goofballs talking. So we've been reaching out to people. So, like, and depending on if they can join us or whatever, like, it's like I don't necessarily want to be like, yeah, next week we're going to talk about this, and then like maybe someone's like, hey, I can join you next Tuesday for, whatever topic it is. So I don't know. I'm working really hard to try to get like a marine biologist or like someone that's like really good at scuba, like scuba certified instructors and people that have like a lot of dives.
Certified?
Huh?
I'm scuba certified.
Someone that's got a lot of diving under their belt.
Oh, I see how it is.
I mean, how many hours have you logged?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
More than one.
Crap right now.
I know. But anyway, I really don't have. Like I say, this is going to be once again another laid back one. I am going to get back into this. The reason it's laid back one was because I just didn't do anything about it, honestly. And
we acknowledge that sometimes we just have to have a live stream where we don't have like a subject, just so like if we get people in that just want to talk and ask questions, we have room for that rather than like hey, we're going to talk about this and blah blah blah. Someone asks a question, then we have to go off topic and stop our flow of the subject or whatever. So yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it'll be nice to get some guests and some topics. We do want to do. We've been talking about it, and we just need to find a day, and to get prepared for it. But the food episode, we got to do the food episode.
I know. I'm really dreading that one, dude.
Just have a trash can nearby. We should get Rhett and Link to join us.
Yeah.
Be like, will it seafood? Or will it seaweed?
Well, it's going to be more than seaweed. We're going to be a bunch of stuff.
I know.
You should have to eat some calamari or something like that.
Gross. Do they do canned calamari or something?
Mm-hmm.
Just throw it in the microwave?
I think the food one's going to be good, though.
We should do it on a day where I don't have to work the next day. That way, if I get myself sick, I don't have to go to work the next day.
Or do a special, like, Friday night one or something like that.
There we go. I could do that.
Anyway,
we'll find like the really like gross stuff, and then like I'll like call my kids from the other room and be like, "Hey, you should try this." Have them try it on camera too.
Yeah, there you go.
If it's green, they're not going to want to eat it. I thought I was going to say something. No, I don't know if I. I know we got a few viewers watching, but it's like if you guys know of certain people that you think we should reach out to, let us know. And
also in the Patreon community, I put a poll out there, and we've got some suggestions out there. I'm just trying to get a hold of somebody in those fields. One of them I haven't reached out to, but I need to. I'm off tomorrow, so I'll work on doing that tomorrow.
We need to get Steve Irwin's family to get on.
No, I'm good.
What? Don't be like that.
I mean, I'm fine if they want to.
My kids have been watching their show. Oh man, it makes me tear up a little bit because I miss Steve Irwin.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to do? Did you? I guess you basically already did the call outs for all of our
Covered it
stuff.
while you were researching because you don't believe things I say.
Pretty much, buddy.
Have I ever led you astray?
Yeah, actually a few times. So yeah, well, I'll run through them again real quick. So
Okay.
LinusCcolony.com, you can get a links to all of our socials there. Like I said, we do have the updated Instagram because of the problems that we did have. So that's so on Instagram it's Atlanta C Colony LLC.
You gonna put that up there, or are you gonna just
Well, it's in the chat right now.
well,
Do you have? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You did add the link to it. Okay, so that's a new Instagram. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Just type in Atlanta Sea Colony. You're gonna find us on there.
You will.
Obviously, YouTube and Twitch we're on. I mean, you might be watching from those. Also Patreon. Our current members right now: Edward Haas, Brian Acosta, S. Babe Hyde. Thank you for those guys for their contributions. And if you want to become a Patreon member, go over to patreon.com/Atlanta Sea Colony. Or if you want to make a one-time donation of, whatever little spare change you got, go to paypal.me/Atlanta Sea Colony, and you can do so there. Every
Hey, Marty.
helps. Hey, it's Marty. Also, like you said, we do have the merch store, and I can't wait, like I said, to get my stuff because I want to show it off. Mainly the hat, because I'm always wearing my Bengals hat on the live stream.
What kind of shirt did you get? I forgot to look at the thing. What kind of shirt did you get?
It has the logo and it says it's the Go Below and Beyond on it.
No, but what kind of material?
Oh, I don't know. I just picked one that was in my size. So
was it the?
I'm telling you, I don't know. So I don't know why you're even asking. You have access to it. You could tell me. You're the one that has the stored information.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I hate it when people do that. When it's like, hey, I don't know. Oh well, blah 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 blah. No, I don't know.
It's a men's T-shirt. That's all it says.
Yeah, I mean, I did pretty good. I mean, I could have bought a kid's T-shirt, but so yeah, go check out the merch. Hopefully next Tuesday, I'll be able to show that off. If not, for sure the following Tuesday. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some research here, and I think Brent and I are gonna have a little bit of a meeting after this. Do some
little bit
business talk. I'm gonna have to grab a little bit of supper first, but otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, I don't got nothing else to cover tonight, Brendon, buddy.
No. Hey, Marty, how's it going? You all seem to come in here at the tail end. I apologize for that, but glad that you actually do come in here and chat with us.
Say hi to us. Wiley was even talking about Marty today because he asked if we were doing our live stream tonight, and I said yes, we were. And he's like, "Oh, is that one guy that has usually popped in there still come in there?" I'm like, "Marty, yeah, Marty still shows up.
Marty's becoming a little celebrity here in the
Marty's like I don't know anything about Cheers, but he's like the guy from Cheers." Nah, it's a good thing. It means you're a supporter.
Hopefully.
It can never be a bad thing when you're associated with us.
I agree.
Yeah, you can never be in trouble when you mess with us.
Two cool dudes. That's what we're going to change the name of this thing to.
Welcome to the Two Cool Dudes live stream. My name's Adam, the cool guy, and this is Brendon, the also cool guy.
Yeah. And Marty, the cool guy.
Marty, the cool guy. I think maybe in a couple weeks, maybe we should do another episode of like the mysterious stuff, like we did, like the unsolved aquatic things. Or maybe we should get all the information ready to go. That way, we can do one of those episodes or do a show like that, and then if we don't have guests or whatever, then we can do that.
Also, I'm trying to figure out taking a vacation here sometime soon, and I want to do it so that I can do it. What are you small about? I want to do it so that I'm able to do our Tuesday night live from the beach is my goal. So I can be sitting there with the waves crashing behind me.
Well, technically, you'd only have to drive like a few hours to do that.
That's true.
I say you do it this summer. Once it's a little bit nicer, just drive down to the beach when the daylight's going a little bit longer, whereas like at this time it's not going to be pitch black out.
Yeah, all you can see is my eyes.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of homeless people on the beach that are just like, hey, get the guy's laptop. Quit. Is that person you talked to going to join our business meeting tonight?
Probably not.
Well, maybe they should if they're that important. Anyway. I feel like I'm starting to get phased out of this whole thing. Like I feel like you've been looking for my replacement for a long time now.
Well, that's we're going to discuss in the business meeting later. No, I'm just kidding.
so if you guys don't see me on next week's live stream, you know
this is Adam's last live stream here.
Adam got fired on a live stream. But yeah. Okay. Well, Brendon.
Yeah.
Call it a night.
I mean, unless anybody's got. I mean, now we're getting some people coming here. Not me. Not you. What? What did I miss? What did I miss? Do you know what I'm missing here, Adam? Yeah, well, I'm getting better. I kind of fumble over my words quite a bit, but the more and more I do these, the more and more comfortable I've been getting. I think
you come out of your shell.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, Marty's just going to take my spot. That's what we're going to do.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, but we could. Marty, we should have you on sometime. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Wiley, sorry, completely off topic. Wiley was asking today at work. Well, I don't know if you, meaning he's not a Patreon member anymore, you probably don't have to answer his question for him. But
that's right.
No, I told him to ask you about your chair because he's been looking for a good chair, and I know you had a lot of good. Like you said that you really liked yours.
It's a little. I wish there was more cushioning in the seat. That's one thing. It was cheap. I got it at Sam's. I don't know what kind of chair this is. It's like some gamer chair that Sam's had for like $100.
How do you feel after being in it for a long period of time?
I mean, once my legs fall asleep, then I'm good. No, I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in it. Like I said, the only thing I wish it was a little, a little bit more cushiony. But that's easily solvable. Also, if I lost some weight, it probably helped too.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about we were talking about that today at work, but that because he's got a pretty good gaming setup or whatever, so he was looking for a nice, comfy chair because the one he has says just sucks.
I say it's worth $100.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to say that in the live stream. My wife scared the crap out of me.
Adult.
Right here is my hallway, and I thought I heard somebody, and I put my head back. My wife was like right there staring at me. I'm sorry for taking the Lord's name in vain on our live stream.
Anyway, with that being said,
close.
the stuff we covered tonight, in case you're just catching in there and you don't want to rewatch the from the beginning, is we
Adult.
talked about Adam. Huh? Yeah, adult. We talked about Adam's rant about people not jumping on board with new technologies and new stuff along those lines. I apologize for my lax attitude here recently towards Facebook and getting stuff done. Those are the two big things, I think.
And the Dutch.
Yeah. That too.
Keep saying thinking I'm gonna have like a revolutionary thought like here, but I don't.
All right, guys. Anybody got any good words or some encouraging words out there they want to share before we go?
Oh, I can pull that up, Mr. Pays.
Or you just go to AtlantaSeaColony.com. It's right there.
Patreon.com, Atlanta Sea Colony. That was our topic today because he experienced some card issues to where he had to get a new card. And we were talking about, like, you don't realize how many things you're subscribed to or whatever until, like, you have to get a new card and you start getting email notifications. It's like, hey, your service is about to run up. Hey, your service is about to run up. Or, hey, your bill's past due, or whatever it is, because you're used. Yeah. That happened to me like 3 months ago. And so, like, you know, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all these things were emailing me like, hey, you're going to
just pay everything in cash.
You can't pay Netflix with cash.
I send them a bone cash every month.
What?
Just stick it in an envelope and mail them some money.
I don't even watch Star Trek, but I know that's something.
Yes. That is live long and prosper.
Is that what Boba Fett does or something?
Why is your hand so dirty?
Huh?
Why is your hand so dirty?
I don't think it's actually dirty. I think it's the light.
Anyway. All right, guys.
Because I work for a living, jerk.
I think we've reached our quota for the night.
Hey, do we want to do the 5 thing before we log off? No, you got to turn your hand a little bit. Pivot. Bring it up a little, or maybe I need to. Okay, hold on. There we go. Let's do a Star Wars episode sometime.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna call it because I need to eat supper anyways, and I'm just rambling at this point. So, like I said, guys, go to AtlantaSeaColony.com for all of those links to all that stuff. Patreon.com/AtlantaSeaColony, PayPal.me, Atlanta Sea Colony, AtlantaSeaColony.com/merch. Thank you to the Patreons or the patrons and the people that will sign up for Patreon. Thank you all. Catch us again next Tuesday, 7:30. Same Atlanta Sea Colony time, same Atlanta Sea Colony place.